Bueno, buenos días. Muchas gracias a toda la comunidad que nos acompaña hoy en día a ver en esta fiesta de lanzamiento del nuevo framework. Y esto ya está empezando. No me dio tiempo de hacer nada. Nada más quería recordarles el código de conducta que nos regimos en este Meetup. Este es un espacio abierto para compartir de una forma respetuosa. Y estaremos observando el chat y cualquier conducta que no sea apropiada se estará sacando de la reunión. Bueno, quedan 30 segundos. Voy a compartir pantalla aquí con ustedes. Y vamos a ver qué es lo nuevo que nos tiene que compartir el equipo de Angular.
Esto parece el año nuevo,
Sí,
el
exacto.
contador regresivo. ¿Puedes ponerlo en full screen?
3, 2, 1.
Hey friends, Mark here from the Angular team, and welcome to the Angular V20 show. And listen, we're gonna get started in just a moment with the latest news from the Angular team, including updates to developer experience, performance, tooling, and so much more. But before we get started, I have a few things that I'd like to say. First and foremost, thank you. The Angular community is absolutely incredible. You continue to give us meaningful feedback to help us shape the future of the framework. You submit PRs, you respond to comments, and what's really important is that you continue to use the framework to build world-class applications. The Angular team is committed to giving you the tools to create something great, something special, a framework so that you can create the applications your users will love. All right, that's enough from me for now, but let's hear from our product lead, the one and only Minko Getchev.
Hey everyone, I'm Minko Getchev, product lead for Angular at Google, and I'm absolutely thrilled to announce the arrival of Angular version 20. The past couple of years have been transformative for Angular, as we've unleashed groundbreaking advancements like reactivity with signals and the power of zoneless applications. We bring these foundational changes to life through a dedicated three-phase process. First, we pioneer an early version, then we deep dive, gathering invaluable feedback directly from you, our amazing developers. Finally, armed with insights, we refine these features for maximum impact and stability. Angular V20 is where that dedication truly shines. This release represents countless of hours spent in that crucial third phase, polishing our powerful in-progress features to forge the exceptional, rock-solid developer experience we deserve. We proudly graduate APIs like effect, linked signal, and route-level render modes to stable. Zoneless is moving to developer preview. Know that this is just the beginning. We're already charting the course for the next wave of innovation, laser focused on enabling you to build web apps with an absolute delight. Angular has always been a powerhouse, embedding best practices from day one, a trait essential for apps at scale. We recognize, however, that this power can sometimes feel imposing to newcomers embarking on their first project. That's why our upcoming releases will champion the gradual adoption of these best practices, making Angular's strength more accessible while simultaneously enhancing them for applications of any size. Later this year, prepare for streamlined, selectorless components, bootstrapping developer experience, accelerating build times, and elevating performance. Expressive and robust signal forms, a modern, scalable, and consistent way to handle user input. AI enhancement of your developer experience and more approachable documentation, and so much more. But let's pause and celebrate this milestone, the landmark version 20. For years, I've personally wished for a fun symbol for Angular that I can use maybe as a plushie or a keychain. Our iconic shield is powerful, but perhaps a touch too shielded. So over the past few months, we teamed up with the creative minds behind Dart, Flutter, and Firebase's mascots to spark some amazing concepts for an official Angular mascot. And now the most exciting part. We want you, the incredible Angular community, to co-create our final mascot with us. Head over to goo.gle/angular-mascot-rfc, cast your vote for the concept you love the most, and share your brilliant ideas on how we can make it perfectly capture Angular's unique identity and vibrant culture. Let's build it together.
All right, thanks, Minko. It is inspiring to be surrounded by so many people who are dedicated to serving the Angular community by working to ensure that we put great features into the framework. Also, how exciting is that mascot news? We can't wait to hear your thoughts and amazing ideas. All right, let's keep this party going and check in with the fantastic Alex Rickabaugh as he shares how we're improving the Angular developer experience to help you create apps that your users will love. Alex, over to you.
Hey there, I'm Alex from the Angular team, and what a great time to be a part of the Angular developer community. In order for you to create apps that your users will love, you have to have a developer experience that you love. To ensure that happens, we have some great new features in Angular version 20 that we hope will empower you to create wonderful applications for your users. Let's jump in. It's amazing to think that we introduced signals back in Angular 16. And since then, we've been pushing the boundaries of what's possible with signals in Angular. Signals are changing the way developers manage state in their components. But we're finding that there are still more frontiers to explore with signals. Signals are reactive and can be used for synchronous tasks, but what about asynchronous tasks? You know, tasks where the completion time is unpredictable. That led us to the new resource API, a new primitive for declaring asynchronous dependencies as a part of the signal graph. Using resource, you can access the status, values, and other properties as signals, seamlessly integrating them into your other signal-based logic and templating. But you know us, we knew we could go further, so we also built the new experimental HTTP resource that enables you to reactively make HTTP requests for fetching data. It's built on top of HTTP client, so it supports all of the features you know and love, like interceptors or mocking and tests, plus it has the power of signal reactivity. Angular developers everywhere tell us how much they love the new resource primitive. We thought it would be great to make it even better. Now you can stream values from a resource, which is useful when you must stream a response back to the client. As for the rest of the Signal API family, we're happy to announce that link signal, effect, after next render, after render effect, and more have been promoted to stable and are ready to be used in production. With these new APIs and stabilizations in version 20, you might ask us, what's coming next? We're continuing to expand support for signals inside of Angular, and I'm happy to share that we're working on a new signal-based evolution of our form system. We're leveraging signal-based reactivity and other modern Angular features to make building forms easier than ever before. Our goal is to combine the best parts of our venerable template and reactive form styles into one unified form system that scales with an excellent developer experience from the simplest login page to the most complex data tables. And as always, backwards compatibility and interoperability are front and center. We're still working on this project, so be sure to stay connected with us online at angular.dev and on the Angular YouTube channel to get the latest information when updates are available. And we're looking forward to hearing your feedback in an RFC later this year. We have some more quality of life features that we're sure you'll enjoy. Host bindings allow you to bind dynamic values to your host element in components and directives. And we know that Angular developers not only love this feature, but do things like create dynamic expressions for the properties they bind to. There's just one problem though. Those expressions aren't type checked, and that can lead to runtime errors. That is, until now. In Angular version 20, we're adding type checking support for both the host property and for the host binding and host listener decorators. Now you can find out if your expressions contain errors during development. But that's not all. We're also updating the Angular language service to support features like syntax highlighting, go-to-definition, and automated renaming inside of host bindings. If you want to try out this great new feature, enable type check host bindings in your project settings to get started. The dynamic component creation APIs provide a powerful way to programmatically create components in Angular applications. While it has been possible to do things like bind values to inputs, there were still opportunities to improve the developer experience with these APIs, so we did. We've expanded Angular's dynamic component creation in a few meaningful ways. First, binding values to inputs is much simpler. Before this update, you'd have to imperatively apply input changes manually, which has been less than ideal. Now, with the latest version of Angular, you can use our new well-defined API to declare input and output bindings at creation, and let the framework handle the rest. The new APIs put inputs and outputs through the same mechanism we use when you bind them in templates. Even better, the new API allows directives to be applied to a dynamically created component. For example, here we're able to apply the active user directive to the user info component. And if you need to bind to the directive's inputs and outputs, that's no problem. You can add bindings when you apply the directive using the same declarative API as with components. In the updated code, we can add the hasColor directive with an input binding. An additional benefit of these APIs is that they're tree shakeable. If you don't use this functionality, it doesn't take up any space in your bundle. These new APIs provide us with a unified way of defining bindings in TypeScript, and we think we can leverage the same approach in the future for other APIs like testbed and host directives. You know, you Angular developers are pretty cool. Maybe we can throw in a few more features for you to check out. In this release, we've also added support for TypeScript 5.8, support for untagged template literal expressions in templates, template HMR is enabled by default, and there's a new schematic to clean up unused imports in your apps. Even with everything I just shared, there's even more available in Angular V20, empowering you to create apps your users will really love. We can't wait to see what you'll build next.
Don't you just love it when someone brings so much good news like Alex just did? I know I do. I also know that many of you were really excited to learn that we're actively building our new signal-based form system. We're definitely looking forward to sharing more updates as we make progress. Developers care about application performance, and so do we. That's why we've been improving Angular in the following way, actually. We have someone standing by ready to give you the details. So, hey Devin, why don't you tell the people more about how they can build faster app experiences that their users will love?
Hey there, I'm Devin from the Angular team. With each of our previous releases, we've made tremendous developer experience and performance improvements. Perhaps you've noticed this yourself with the introduction of features like our new signal-based reactivity model and server-side rendering support. Now, with the features we're releasing in this version, Angular is bringing performance to developers as a default. Through a culmination of several different efforts, Angular V20 will make shipping highly performant web apps easier than ever. But what does that all mean? Stick around and find out. Server-side rendering helps Angular developers deliver highly performant apps. SSR allows you to render pages containing initial page state on the server and ship them to the browser for a faster initial load and better SEO. In V16, we added full application hydration, which reuses server-rendered DOM structures and persists the application state and transfers application data retrieved already by the server. Without hydration enabled, SSR applications would need to destroy and re-render the application's entire DOM. But we didn't stop there. Incremental hydration hit the scene in Angular V19 in Developer Preview with a clear goal of helping developers ship fast-loading apps because we know how important initial load is in creating an incredible end-user experience. With the power of incremental hydration, developers can choose which parts of a template to delay loading and hydrating until later, reducing bundle sizes and the time to interaction while providing an end-user experience comparable to full application hydration. We are thrilled to announce that incremental hydration is stable as of V20, which means you can confidently reap the benefits of this powerful new feature. To get started, add Provide Client Hydration with incremental hydration to your project's application config. Then, you can use defer blocks with hydrate triggers such as hydrate on, hydrate when, or hydrate never to specify exactly what user events should trigger Angular to load and hydrate deferred content. By stabilizing incremental hydration, we can continue to improve and expand upon this feature set. Check out our incremental hydration guide on angular.dev for more information, and stay tuned to the Angular YouTube channel for more updates on what's next for incremental hydration. You thought that's all we had in store for SSR? Of course not! In version 19, we added route-level render mode config APIs in Developer Preview that give you complete control over your app's rendering, allowing for optimizations that enhance performance, search engine optimization, and overall user experience, resulting in greater flexibility, built-in internationalization, and a seamless dev server integration. With this new set of APIs, you can explicitly define whether route components are rendered by the server, statically generated, or rendered on the client. And guess what? Angular's route-level render mode configuration APIs are being promoted to stable in V20. So go forth and render with confidence. All right, there's a lot of excitement surrounding this next one, so let me get into the zone for this. Or should I say out of the zone? Because in V20, zoneless Angular is moving to Developer Preview. Zoneless Angular can improve app performance by eliminating unnecessary change detection cycles. Because Zone.js patches browser APIs, it notifies Angular to run change detection in response to any browser event, not just events that resulted in an update to a template in your application. This leads to a lot of unnecessary checks. In a zoneless setup, developers have explicit control over when and how change detection is triggered. For example, by calling mark for check, or by leveraging Angular signals, which inherently know when their state changes and can trigger updates more precisely, making zoneless plus signals a powerful combination. This fine-grained change detection can result in improved performance and improved debugging experience, better ecosystem compatibility, and a smaller JavaScript payload. With zoneless moving from experimental to Developer Preview, you can get a head start on getting the most out of Angular, and here's how. First, update to Angular V20. Then, add Provide Zoneless Change Detection to your project's application config, and uninstall Zone.js. That's all you need to get started. Be sure to check out Angular Dev for more details. What would these improvements be without the tools you actually need to monitor and debug your application's performance? Chrome's existing tools like Flamechart can be helpful here, but there's a ton of information in there, so much so that it can be difficult to pinpoint the data you need. If you've ever struggled with this, you'll be glad to hear that we've partnered with Chrome DevTools to create a custom track for Angular developers that surfaces profiling data specific to you and your application. This can be extremely helpful for doing things like identifying code from your app versus other libraries. Want to try it out? First, you'll need Angular V20 and Chrome version 136 or higher. Then, head over to the Performance tab in the latest version of Chrome. Start recording to capture the data you're interested in profiling, and when you're finished, you'll find the relevant data in the Custom Angular tab. That's it! You're one step closer to gaining critical insights into your app's performance in a language familiar to you as an Angular developer. Ready to make performance the default for your application? Update to the latest version of Angular and create apps your users will love.
Devin, thanks so much for those updates. From zoneless to production-ready incremental hydration, we're happy to ship the features that you need to deliver web apps with confidence. Let's turn our attention to Angular's tooling and infrastructure. Angular's tooling has been helping developers build stable, durable apps, and our latest updates continue this tradition. Let's check in with Tiffany to find out how we're improving on a solid foundation. Tiffany, you're up.
If you want to create apps that your users will truly love, then as a developer, you'll need helpful tooling to give you a wonderful experience building and delivering those incredible applications. Guess what? Your friends on the Angular team are here to help. Hi, I'm Tiffany, an engineer on the Angular team, and I'm going to tell you all about what we're delivering in Angular version 20 to make this happen. Let's dive in. Let's talk about every developer's favorite subject, testing. With Karma being deprecated, the Angular team has been focused on finding a suitable alternative. We think the right solution will meet 3 goals we have in mind. It will provide developers with a well-lit path for migrating. It will have strong support in the community. And finally, it will improve the overall experience for developers. This led us to explore some new options. So far, your options have been being able to run tests in Node with Angular's experimental jest support. For browser testing needs, there's experimental support for Web Test Runner. Yet, we wanted to find a testing solution that worked both in Node and for browser-based testing. In line with the idea, we're introducing experimental support for V-tests in Angular 20. With V-tests, you can run tests in both Node and browser-based environments, and we love to know how this works for you in your projects. Now, we will only be choosing one solution, but you get to help us decide. Try out all 3 test runners and let us know your feedback. We'll be taking this into account as we evaluate which of these to stabilize. To build truly stable and performant applications, valuable insights into runtime behavior are essential. Developers have access to Chrome DevTools and powerful performance insights. But how much better would your profiling experience be if the content was more tailored to you as Angular developers? We have another great DevTools feature you can try out as well. Angular has experimental support for router visualization in Angular DevTools. This gives you a sneak peek into how we're updating Angular DevTools with more and more features that enable you to gain even greater insights into your application during runtime. Like many of our other experimental features, we love you to try it out and let us know what you think as we continue to develop this feature. Here's how you can get started. With Angular DevTools panel open, click on the settings icon and toggle the Enable Router Graph setting to on. And there you go. Here are a couple more notable features you should keep an eye out for in this release. First, we removed Webpack from ng-new, which means we've streamlined the build system and dependencies. We've been able to cut about 40% of the dependencies required for a new app. Not bad, right? And finally, I want to draw your attention to another effort in securing your Angular apps from the start. We've partnered with the Google Security Engineering team to add support for generating content security policies, or CSPs, in production builds with Auto CSP, and landed initial support in Angular V20. Since then, we fixed bugs and made it more stable. What's great is that working with this team to enable Auto CSP aligns us more closely with the secure by design philosophy here at Google. Features like these mean more secure Angular apps by default. Keep an eye out for collaboration posts with the Google Security Engineering team on blog.angular.dev in the future. Let's take a moment to see Auto CSP in action. In Angular.json, under the build configuration, you can add Auto CSP with a value of true to enable this feature. When enabled, during production builds, a content security policy will be generated for you and included in your application code. This means that your site is more protected against some security vulnerabilities, like cross-site scripting attacks. As one example, if a malicious actor is able to inject an inline script into the application, our automated CSP configuration will block that script from running. While there are no silver bullets in security, we believe this is a great way to harden your Angular apps and protect your users. Try it out and let us know what you think. With each release, we aim to ship features and updates that make building with Angular an experience you and your users will love. Ready to get started? Update to the latest version of Angular and build something great.
Tiffany, fantastic updates. Thank you so much. You know, with these types of updates, it becomes increasingly clear that you will have the features that you need to create apps your users will love. Well, everyone, thank you so much for wait. What? There's another update? There's another update. Oh, wait, is this Jessica again? It's me. What? How? Okay, so I guess we're gonna see what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's not strange at all. No, not strange. Not a parallel universe. Not something out of a space movie. No, not at all. Hey friends, Mark here from the Angular team. Now, on the Angular team, we believe that AI has already changed the way that we work as developers. And what's really incredible is that these are the early days. We haven't even seen the full scope of how development will evolve. As a team, we've been thinking a lot about opportunities to meaningfully incorporate AI and how we can best use AI to bring value to the Angular community. We want to help you build AI-powered applications with Angular and help you to use AI development tools in your workflow. So, with much excitement, we are here to introduce the new home for AI in Angular, angular.dev/AI. This resource is here to help you get the most out of AI as an Angular developer. You'll find guidance, best practices, starter projects, even recipes for how to use AI in Angular. Here's an example of the type of recipe that you'll find on angular.dev/AI. When integrating with AI through something like an in-app chat feature, you may want to stream the LLM response to generate that typing effect. Now, this code snippet shows you how to do that using Angular's resource API. Now, we've abbreviated the code here, but you can find the full working example on angular.dev/AI. We also have multi-hour development sessions led by the Angular team, guiding you through integration and implementation with AI tools like Vertex AI in Firebase and GenKit. Now, while the content on the site integrates with Google's AI offerings, we've created content that applies to other AI solutions as well. We think you're really gonna like what we've done here and can't wait for you all to check out this new part of angular.dev. Oh, the great things you'll build. Thank Mark? No. Thank me? No. Actually, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the Angular community, and thank you so much for hanging out with us during this very special Angular developer event. Be sure to head over to the Angular blog and get even more updates. You know, Angular version 20 represents a significant milestone in our mission to help you ship web apps with confidence. Whether it's the updates to performance, tooling, everything else, or our new AI home for Angular, we're just really excited to know what you're going to build next. So that's it for us. Be sure to head over to angular.dev, update to the latest version of Angular, and create apps your users will love.
Súper bien, perfecto. Vamos a ver. Y bueno,
Nunca apareció.
no, nunca apareció.
Sí.
Sí, hay varios que no se mostraron esta vez en el video, pero no, súper bien, súper conciso todo. Y bueno, nada, quería empezar tal vez un poco la discusión en preguntándole a Kenzie cuál fue su feature, el que más le gustó de esta nueva versión de Angular.
Pues es interesante que, bueno, lo bonito es que muchos que estaban en preview ahorita van a estar estables, ¿verdad? El tema del testing, tú sabes de que ya había dado una charla sobre el testing en Angular, es algo que a mí me gusta, porque todos venimos de la cultura de que no nos gusta testear, no sé, de los demás que están aquí. A mí me gusta entrenarme en cosas que no me llaman mucho la atención. Me gusta esa parte, pero no mencionaron una feature que yo sí me encantó mucho cuando lo leí. Y yo se lo comenté en el podcast de Angularidades a Alejandro y tiene que ver con la parte de la función de redirección asíncrona, porque va a ser una forma muy diferente de utilizar los guards. Prácticamente va a cambiar la documentación de cómo utilizarlos en Angular. Me gusta bastante porque prácticamente vas a utilizar la lógica en el mismo archivo de las rutas, ¿verdad? Ya no vas a tener que hacer un archivo aparte para manejar el tema de la lógica de tus rutas, de cómo vas a manejar una lógica en específico, un archivo en específico para un guard. Entonces, esas son las dos features que a mí me llamaron más la atención. La parte de la iteration sí me gusta, no la he utilizado en su totalidad, puesto que en mi trabajo actualmente, el proyecto que tenemos de Angular todavía no se ha migrado ni siquiera a la versión 17. Estamos todavía haciendo el plan para poderlo migrar de la versión 13 a la 17. Entonces, pues vamos de pasos en pasos, pero esas son las cositas que a mí me llamaron más la atención.
Buenísimo, sí, bueno, hay muchas cosas nuevas y buenas, pero en particular a mí lo que siempre me gusta es que pues se pueda mejorar el developer experience, la forma de si algo falló en el código, ejecutándose en el código, que se pueda buscar de una forma más fácil y resolver el bug más rápido y bueno, también ya teniendo un camino claro o fuerte a tener aplicaciones sin son de
Bien
ellas
livianas,
y livianas,
bien
claro, eso.
livianas, porque si te pones a pensar en la implementación de Vite, voy a hablar en mi caso que tenía experiencia trabajando con React, o sea, las aplicaciones eran súper pesadas, llenas de boilerplate. Y yo cuando empecé a sacar los cursos de Fernando Herrera, por ejemplo, y él empezó a trabajar con Vite, era una experiencia totalmente diferente a como yo lo había hecho de la forma convencional. Entonces ya Angular, incluso las nuevas aplicaciones que he hecho para hacer de demos, son en su totalidad súper rápidas. Rapidito se hace un demo, se puede aplicar en librería súper fácil. Entonces, esa experiencia para los desarrolladores y ahora con inteligencia artificial y todo eso nos hace hacer el trabajo mucho más rápido, perder
Sí,
menos tiempo, la verdad.
sí, total. Y sí, bueno, ya ahora que introdujeron tres diferentes opciones de probar, que nos dieron a nosotros para probar de cuál testing framework es mejor para nosotros, también nos da un gran chance de cómo mejorar nuestro CI/CD y también de cómo mejorar nuestro código y las funcionalidades de testing que tenemos. Alejandro, ¿a vos qué te llamó la atención de esta nueva versión?
El iconito ese que tiene un emoji de una A en vez del logotipo de Angular dentro del track del Performance Panel. Eso estuve comentándolo con Alex en persona, no con Alex, sino con Doug Parker, que él es el que está a cargo de toda la parte de liderazgo del Angular DevTools. Y bueno, me dijo que ya, por cuestiones técnicas no podían incorporar el SVG, es decir, el ficherito ese vectorial para reemplazar el emoji, pero bueno, eso es algo que tienen ellos para más adelante y me parece una herramienta para depurar el runtime de la aplicación imprescindible. Ahora mismo no lo es, pero se va a tornar una opción muy fácil de emplear y de introducir en el día a día de desarrollo, de la depuración, de todo lo que tiene que ver con debugging para poder descifrar mucho mejor lo que en el profiler, en el performance, en ese
Ujú.
panel del DevTools nos muestra la ejecución de JavaScript en tiempo de ejecución en el navegador. Así que para mí eso es uno de los highlights, adicionalmente a muchos otros que, bueno, que si nos ponemos a enumerar, me encantaría saber, por ejemplo, ¿puedo nominar a Rafael? Rafa, ¿qué fue
Claro.
lo que... Rafael Mestre, primeramente, después Rafael Paiva, vamos contigo.
Bueno, muchas cosas. Tenemos un release aquí bastante interesante, bastante importante. 20 es un milestone enorme. Así que si tengo que escoger, diría que el tema de los host bindings, que es un tema bastante cercano a mí, creo que es un feature muy poderoso y bueno, he dado varias charlas acerca de ese tema porque creo que es poco utilizado por los desarrolladores y creo que le hayan dado un poquito más de atención, que ahora tenga mejor compatibilidad con el servicio de lenguaje de los IDE eh, y que tengas esa seguridad al tiempo de compilación de que esas propiedades cuando estás usando los host bindings están correctas, le va a dar cada vez más deseos a la gente de utilizar este feature correctamente y pues, creo que le añade una dimensión muy poderosa a los componentes de las directivas. Ya si hablamos un poquito más otro tema de algo que me gustó, un cambio que me gustó, pero que es un poquito controversial. A mí me gustan los cambios controversiales. En los cambios de la guía de estilo, donde ahora incluso en la generación en el CLI, ya los componentes y los servicios no van a tener ese sufijo como parte del file name. De que al generar un componente, ya el nombre del archivo no es user.component.ts, sino que cada cual tiene esa responsabilidad de nombrar sus componentes y sus servicios un poquito más apropiadamente. Ese cambio no es bienvenido por todo el mundo, pero yo creo que va a abrir las puertas a unas mejores prácticas en ciertos aspectos.
A mí sí me gustaba eso, de que me lo nombrara.
Sí.
Sí,
Sí, a mí
también es parte de
sí.
la costumbre. Yo creo que uno está tan
No,
acostumbrado a agregar eso que ya ese
no, es que
cambio.
te lo digo, ¿sabes por qué? Es porque yo trabajé con React y entonces en React prácticamente te tocaba crearlos de forma manual. Entonces en Angular trabajas con un CLI que prácticamente te automatiza gran parte de ese
Ujú.
trabajo. Entonces ves esa parte que te hace una parte de tu vida más fácil y ya identificas, pero yo, o sea, me tocó refactorizar un proyecto de React enorme y yo me perdía, entre tanto no sabía qué era un componente reusable y qué era un componente tipo módulo. Entonces, por eso me
Ujú.
encantaba de Angular esa parte.
Pero que bueno, lo que están buscando es que ahora sí seamos más conscientes de los nombres, o sea, en lugar de crear como que algo así muy ambiguo y nada más punto component, pues ahora sí ya darles nombres de, no sé, user, profile, card o algo así. Entonces ya
Ujú.
darle un poquito más de contexto. Yo en ese caso, como ya tengo tiempo usando los templates y styles en el mismo archivo, entonces pues ya no, o sea, yo ya no usaba punto component ni HTML ni CSS. Entonces, pues ya todo era en el mismo. Pero a mí sí me gustaba más que trajera el sufijo ng. Ya ven que primero lo propusieron cuando iban a
Sí.
quitar y luego lo dijeron, no, saben que mejor ya pongan el nombre
Ujú.
como quieran.
Eso. Y a vos, Eduardo, ya que estamos hablando, ¿qué te gusta más de esto nuevo que viene? Que
Pues
está,
yo creo
ya mismo.
que, digo, hay muchas cosas, pero yo como trabajo ya, digo, como hay muchos proyectos en los que ando trabajando, lo que me gustó más de este release es que ya prácticamente todo lo de Signals, todo lo de la nueva reactividad ya está estable. Entonces ahora sí ya no es de que como quiera era muy estable o muy, eh, digo, no tenía errores aunque estaba en Developer Preview, pero el que ya en Angular 20 ya tengamos todo lo de link signals en estable, pues ya da un mayor pie a que implementemos todo en aplicaciones productivas ya con confianza de que pues está todo estable. Entonces
Sí, que
eso
no
es
va a
algo
salir un
que
error
me gustó
ahí.
mucho. O que van a
Exacto.
cambiar el API y que vas a tener que refactorizar todo y cosas así.
No, desde que hubiese sido una mala jugada, porque como ellos dicen, desde el Framework 16 están promocionando esto de Signal. Bueno, salió esto de Signals y cambiarlo a estas alturas sería
Bueno,
un balazo en el pie.
pero el tema de Effect, ese todavía iba a haber cambios. Y
Ujú.
sí cambiaron el After Render y After Next Render. Y ya lo renombraron bueno,
After
dejaron
every
After Next
render.
Render y After Render Effect. Entonces ese es el que se está ejecutando cada vez que hay un renderizado. O sea que como quiera está medio confuso, porque uno pensaría que el Next Render es el que siempre se va a estar ejecutando.
Y Rafa, cuéntanos qué te gustó más a vos.
Hola a todos. Gracias por la invitación. Mi español es muy malo. Pediré permiso para hablar en portugués ou em inglês, se necessário. As features que eu gostei, vou junto com outro Rafael aí, o Eduardo, né, que é a questão da reatividade. Eu acho que do Signals é uma mudança bem legal. Quando chegou, foi uma mudança de paradigma. Eu entendo que dificultou um pouco para criar aplicações usando Signal no começo, mas a vantagem que ele habilita de você conseguir desativar o zone e avisar o framework, né? Avisar o Angular quando ele precisa de fato checar para mudanças, isso eu acho que é um marco bem grande, né? Então, eu sabia que quando o Signal chegou, não estava estável por um tempo, mas era uma peça fundamental, né? Para ficar estável e para a gente começar a construir aplicações a partir dele sem o zone, né? Também. Então, para mim, agora, essa questão do marco do effect está estável, no começo, vamos usar effect demais, né? Então, agora veio o linked signal, veio o resource, então veio ferramentas muito boas que eu acho que hoje, como desenvolvedor Angular, eu quase não uso mais lifecycle hook, ou init, ou changes, tudo com signal já resolve. O inject também ajudou bastante, o standalone ajudou bastante, então eu acho que hoje cada vez a gente consegue, com menos esforço, escrever um código mais seguro e que se você precisa de usar um push no futuro, isso não vai gerar muito retrabalho. Então, eu acho que essa parte minha preferida, né? Eu estava em dúvida lá como que ia ser, se ia ser implícito ou explícito, se ia ser async computed ou resource, mas eu vi que a comunidade discute muito e o time do Angular, ele ouve muito a comunidade. Então, teve aquela questão da sintaxe com arroba, o at, né? At defer, at if, que isso foi uma proposta que a comunidade sugeriu e para o time não ia dar muita diferença, eles decidiram passar uma pesquisa, né? E ouviram a gente, então acho que isso mais importante é que o time está ouvindo a comunidade e o framework é para nós usarmos, então a nossa opinião importa muito, isso eu acho muito legal.
Así es, y ahora también, bueno, que mencionaron que el ng-if, ng-for va a estar totalmente deprecado, o sea, ahora sí o sí hay que usar control flow, y bueno, y es para mejor, la verdad, hace un código más
Uhum.
entendible, y
E os schematics também, né? Eles estão dando muita ferramenta para te ajudar a migrar com menor esforço, então eu acho que isso é muito legal, assim, o tempo que eu sou desde o Angular 4, né, que eu comecei, o tempo que eu levava para fazer um update de uma aplicação grande era semanas, isso passou a ser dias e agora horas, então isso facilita demais, assim, o tempo que você perde dando manutenção, né? Então eu vejo que muitas mudanças positivas, são muitas mudanças, assusta porque quando você escolhe um framework, ao contrário do React lá para trabalhar, você escolhe um framework, você espera que o framework tenha as respostas para você. E quando você tem mais de um jeito de fazer a mesma coisa, confunde. Mas estamos num período de transição. A ideia é que agora estabilizando com Signal, acredito que eles estão atualizando a documentação, então isso vai ficar mais amigável para quem está começando também. Isso vai trazer um público maior, acho que, para o framework. Não tem mais aquela curva. A tendência é no futuro a gente também, não só o Zone, mas o RxJS se tornar opcional. Eu adoro usar, mas para quem não quiser vai poder, porque as APIs agora baseadas em Signal vão conseguir resolver sem o RX. Então, eu acho que essas dependências vão ajudar o framework a ser mais adotado pelo mercado. Quem já usa já gosta e para vir gente nova também conhecer, né, que vem mudando.
claro, perfecto, pero bueno. Sin robarle más tiempo a todos, muchísimas gracias a todos por habernos acompañado en este Watch Parties. Bueno, como siempre, actualicen sus aplicaciones, no lo utilicen nuestra recomendación, o por lo menos donde yo trabajo en Workinet, recomendamos no actualizar las aplicaciones hasta que salga una versión .1, un poquito más estable, libre de bugs, de posibles bugs. Y nada, muchísimas gracias a todos, Kenzie, Alejandro, Eduardo, Rafael, los Rafaels, y a todas las personas de la comunidad que nos acompañaron hoy y nos vemos en una próxima reunión. Muchas gracias a todos.
No, actualicen todos ya ahorita. Angular 20.
Toda
NG-conf.
producción,
Estén atentos a cuál va a ser la mascota de Angular para comprar el peluche también.
exacto. Eso va sobre en el ng-conf.
Aunque estoy indignada porque nos tendrían que haber preguntado a la comunidad o pedir propuestas de qué queríamos de mascota, pero cuando fue la de Node.js, yo mandé mi propuesta por Twitter, yo lo publiqué, mandé un panda, entonces hubiera sido interesante ver qué mandaba la comunidad, pero sí, estén atentos a las notificaciones.
Si todavía no es totalmente efectiva la mascota final, ellos tienen un RFC abierto que está enlazado en el artículo, así que tienes todavía chance. Ellos posiblemente hasta Angular 22 no van a lanzarlo oficialmente como tal. Ellos dijeron que se pueden demorar un tiempo. A
Voy
lo
a
mejor
hacer
Angular
yoga
21, pero
para
tienes chance
inspirarme.
todavía de inspirarte y de recomendar buenas soluciones ahí, que las
Ya vamos a
necesitamos.
ver qué mandamos.
Eu vi um vídeo do Joshua Moroni falando que o Angular 20 foi lançado e é chato porque não tem tanta novidade diferente, mas tem
No sé
muita
por
coisa
qué.
que está estabilizando, né? Então, justamente o fato de estar ok tudo é um bom sinal, é que o Angular está bem.
Así es. Bueno, muchachos, muchas gracias a todos y happy coding. Nos vemos. Gracias.
Hasta
Chao,
luego.
Bye,
gracias.
chicos. Nos
Bye.
vemos.
Chao.
Gracias.